good? We're just causing problems.
Louis. Oh yeah, I should put this on there. These are all the fenders. Sack. Really? I thought this was an alphabetical order, but apparently
It is not. I thought it was too, but then it kind of switched up a little bit.
what are they doing?
Actually, no, it isn't alphabetical.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
by last name, by last name.
Yeah.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
center referee will be Cassie Anderson. Our senior assistant will be Chad Collins. Our junior assistant referee will be Brian Odenwald. And our fourth official this evening will be Maggie Short. And now the starting lineups. First, our visiting team. Number 18, Albert Reinwart. Number 5, Eric Hutton. Number 6, Harvey Slade. Number 24, Jake Erlinson. Number 2, Louis Bulger. Number 21, Zach Buscher. Number 11, Sam DeRoy. Number 8, Jackson Dietrich. Number 13, Cameron Bell. Number 3, Christo Strickler. And number 10, Tate Robertson. And now for your Cincinnati Dutch Lions. Starting in goal, number 1, Wesley Storm. Number 18, Kobe Saponamoa. Number 3, Nathan Heath. Number 16, Reese Hands. Number 27, Jordy Ramon. Number 4, Jessen Vanderploom. Number 8, Connor Rutz. Number 7, Michael Hamilton. Number 11, Connor Probert. Number 21, Azad Liadi. And number 9, Alex Willis. Your Dutch Lions are coached by Brandon Fonchek, Terry Nichols, Jack Hermans, Arturo Rodriguez, Joe Fury, and our head coach is Paul Nicholson. We'd ask that everyone please rise. Gentlemen, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Hello and welcome to the beautiful Northern Kentucky University Stadium, where the Cincinnati Dutch Lions are about to kick off versus their arch rivals, the Dayton Dutch Lions. My name's Boston Brazel. I am joined by Chris Asbrock. Chris, how you feeling about some soccer today?
You know what? It's a day. It's not raining. You know what? Beautiful night for a great matchup between two heated rivals. So this is gonna be a good night, Boston.
Yeah, speaking of rain, it's done nothing but that in Cincinnati, so how lucky are these teams that the one night that they're scheduled to play, the skies stayed clear all day, and I think we're back into rain starting tomorrow, so absolutely great night for soccer. Couldn't have come at a more perfect time. These two teams, this is the second match of 3 that they will battle it out this season. The Subway Cup is on the line because Cincinnati won the last match 2-1 on June 9th. And with that result means Dayton has some catching up to do. Cincinnati has a best out of 3 win here today. Will win the Supporters Subway Cup, something they've coveted since it was stolen last year, right at the end of the season. right here at Northern Kentucky Stadium, and the fans were bitter to say the least, and I've heard a lot of talk today. They are ready for the Subway Cup to come home.
Well, that's the beauty of a rivalry match like this. It's, it brings out the best in both sides, and especially, when there's a chance to bring home some silverware, quotations there, it always makes it a little better, and always ups the ante a little bit.
Absolutely, and I think the players can feel that excitement as well. That's something they want. A lot of returnees on this Cincinnati Dutch Lions squad. They remember last year. They want to go ahead and take that cup back. Cincinnati, of course, playing in the orange kits today. We have to be real careful as both teams share similar names, but Dayton is in the white. Both are the Dutch Lions, and it's a pretty cool rivalry here with teams that have similar backgrounds. Cincinnati starts with the ball, and we'll get it back to Wesley Storm. Storm been in goal all season except for a 2-game suspension he served, and McLaughlin came in and filled that spot nicely in his absence. Of course, Cincinnati and Dayton both are in USL League 2. You can stay up to date with what is happening throughout the league in USL League 2 top prospects as the new USLLeague2.com. Download the USL League 2 mobile app today to keep track of your favorite teams. And if you're unfamiliar with the style of play, both teams tend to favor a little bit more of a press style. Cincinnati was able to take advantage of that in the last round versus these two. You can see already the physicality both of these teams bring to the pitch. A little bit of a breakaway, and the official is going to call a foul. Ooh. Kind of an odd move with Dayton maintaining possession.
I was going to say, that was a little surprising. Calling advantage you would think would have been the more logical move in that situation. But no, the official Casey Anderson, she whistles it down, and Dayton now with a free kick.
Yeah, I must have thought it wasn't full possession, right? It was a lot of wobbles, so I must have thought that the better play here was to take the free kick. Still in a dangerous position, not super close, but not comfortable either.
Exactly. This shouldn't trouble Wesley Storm from this far out, but anything is possible.
Cincinnati electing to go with a one-man wall. It was 2 for a second. And that ball bounces around the box dangerously. Stayed in there a little longer than you'd like, but it will go out for a goal kick. And everybody can breathe a little lighter inside the stadium. Well, Cincinnati looks to build out of the back now.
Here's a matchup so far. We've seen both teams still trying to, feel each other out a little bit before things open up. But right now it's been Dayton with the majority of the possession right now, and they're the ones who are really kind of taking it to Cincinnati early on.
Cincy, of course, electing to go with a majority of their starters in this match. We've seen Alex Willis, who is by far the leading goal scorer on the team, but they also have brought back Reese Hands, who's phenomenal in the back. Connor Probert, kind of a creation maker. Michael Hamilton getting the start today. He's earned his playing time after sort of having a slow start to the season, and then Paul Nicholson's been depending on him more and more as it goes on.
Dayton doing a really good job right now of clogging up the middle. You can see as Cincinnati, they're trying to get something on the inside, or in the middle, I should say, and they just can't. Dayton's doing a really good job of clogging any lanes that they might have, and forcing Cincinnati to kind of go from the outside. And got to give Dayton a lot of credit right now. They're, like I said, they're really making things a little difficult right now for Cincinnati.
Well, that's what happens when you play a team multiple times. You start to learn their tactics, their style. And Cincinnati will definitely have to switch things up a little bit here tonight, as they were able to burn Dayton multiple times with the forwards and the aggressive midfield play in the last match. And that kick will go out of bounds by Reese Hands. Jackson Diedrich goes off on him. Cincinnati will recover, and that's Willis, who's trying to get that ball back, but will go just wide. Dayton with the long kick.
One thing I am interested to see is how Cincinnati, how they can adjust to this. You know, we've seen the last couple, matches here where, where Cincinnati's been the one who have been, usually on the front foot. But, in a match like this, I mean, you look at Dayton, they're holding a solid back line, but, I'm interested to see if Cincinnati's able to pick up the pace a little bit and see what, basically see what they can do in terms of, applying the pressure to Dayton.
That's just a mistimed read there by Cincinnati. Looked like Nathan Heath was trying to get that ball forward, but runner wanted it more central. Thought maybe it would keep going. That'll go off of Heath as well, and so Dayton will take back over on the sideline.
Mercedes-Benz Ford Mitchell for a new or pre-owned car. They receive much more than a stunning vehicle. They're entering into a relationship with Greater Cincinnati's premier luxury dealership. And that relationship means
There's Hands.
superb experience during
Usually a
every
dominant
visit.
force on that
Mercedes-Benz
left
isn't
side.
an ordinary vehicle, and you shouldn't settle for an ordinary dealership.
And the official's not gonna
Mercedes-Benz
let that go. So we have a little breakaway.
Beautiful cutback.
Alexander. Well, that's will sail out. Looks like it will be. That was an absolutely great run. Once the Dayton player realized, hey, wait a minute, that wasn't called dead. I can go.
Jackson Dietrich with that shot there. A little hard to read the numbers from up here, but a shot went awry and a promising opportunity for Dayton.
Yep. Very impressed by Tate Robinson to get all that set up. Hands is going to send that back to Storm. I think he thought more pressure was coming in. And unlike the quick aggressive play we saw last match, it looks like both teams here are trying a little bit more of a feeling out style, and that cross will deflect out for a corner kick, and that will be Cincinnati's first of the night. They usually earn quite a few of these. It's definitely part of Cincinnati's style to try to earn these corner kicks, and they like to shoot into the box from the wings fairly often.
Set pieces are the one. Oh, they took a short corner, and the assistant is calling it back.
I think that's going to be called back. Yeah, maybe the whistle didn't blow.
So take two on this corner and see if Cincinnati elects to go short again.
This time it will sail into the box. It does connect, but nowhere to go with the header.
Oh.
And here we go. Dayton has a breakaway. A little bit of a slow chance. Wesley Storm able to come way outside of his box and clear it as Tate Robinson swings in. Well, you could see Dayton already taking advantage of those counter opportunities, and that's exactly what they did in the last match. They're definitely playing a more offensive shape, and you can see pressing them right here, even in the defensive third.
Yeah, Dayton certainly, they're looking to to get Cincinnati on the counter, and they've done a great job with that so far. I mean, you saw how quickly that breakout happened, from that corner.
Yeah, since he's going to have to be careful now. The tactic clearly is create a turnover, send that ball forward to Tate. And so it's going to have to be one of those things Paul Nicholson has his team looking out for. We need to be careful, crisp, clean in the passing. Even if you're passing it backwards, you just cannot.
Exactly. I mean, the Cincinnati's playing a dangerous game right now. When when you're facing a team like that, you can't afford to risk to have any turnovers for fear of that quick counter. So it does. It has to be a very disciplined style of game for Cincinnati, and that's what I would expect. Obviously Paul Nicholson is thinking the exact same thing here. So again, Cincinnati, they have to, they got to clean it up a little bit. It's hasn't been the best, hasn't been the best start for them right now. 10 minutes in, haven't been able to really create too many opportunities. But again, a lot of that's on Dayton for them being on the front foot and pressing and getting those nice counterattack opportunities there.
Yeah, we say that, but neither team has managed to get a shot on goal yet. So
no, it's not.
It's pretty interesting.
I was going to say, honestly, it's a pretty ugly match so far, which what you would expect, in a rivalry match like this. It's, you're not going to expect a really beautiful match, just, simply because of the, the feeling out process. But obviously, as the time goes on, the game will get a lot better.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Dayton definitely had two chances, but both of them were so well covered at the end of the day that neither managed to get a shot on goal. And here's Dayton trying to work that top of the box, sending it in. And that will sail to the other side of the pitch where no one's waiting but an orange jersey. And really, Cincinnati just needs to find a way here to build out of the back, and these clearances forward are going to haunt them eventually. That will go out for a goal kick, and Cincinnati will finally get that breathing room to build out of the back. You got to worry. Sometimes when players get their goal pressured and they just want to clear it and shoot it way out and not pass their way out. There was plenty of room to pass their way out in that last drive.
Yeah.
So that's something Cincinnati's going to have to work on going forward. Just calm down. And I think that happens with the time in the game. Just calm down a little bit. And
yeah, once things settle down, obviously, it'll happen to where those things play out, boss, like you had just said. One thing I do want to say, though, is Jacob Burlinson of Dayton has done a really good job so far on Alex Willis. Alex is obviously he's the main goal threat, in the league and obviously on Cincinnati, and he's done a really good job of, in this situation here, being physical on him, and he's making them, work for every ball, especially in the air. So that's a matchup to continue to keep your eye on to see how that plays out, and if Willis can get into some space and, hopefully, for Cincinnati, capitalize on some of those opportunities.
yeah, Liotti right there doing a great job of getting the ball down the field, finding that open space on the right side. He goes out to do the throw-in. He elects to send it back. Connor Rutz. They're going to try to work the field. Dayton giving him a little bit of space now that they're in this danger territory. Don't mind them going back a little bit now. Liotti. And here comes the press. Back to Liotti. That's a good move. Plenty of space. We'll cross it into the top of the box, but Willis had already taken a step forward, and that will be a shot. A little far out, a little slow, and to the right. But nice to see Cincinnati get a little bit of offense and possession in the final third.
Yeah, they obviously didn't, they chose not to, really play at a frenetic pace there. They took their time, and again, with that possession, then, we're able to at least get, a shot out of it. But
yeah, why not with the space Dayton was giving them at the top, because they decided to retreat so deep in their territory.
If they're giving it to you, you got, take advantage of it.
Nathan Heath sending it forward, trying to get it to Willis, and that'll be cleared out. Still Cincinnati's ball. Sails into Willis. Willis trying to get it ball to the side so he can get back down into his more central position. idea, finding the open Liotti. Unfortunately, unable to get a good touch on that and turn. And Storm's going to let that go out for a goal kick. That was another dangerous chance. Dayton's doing a good job of running up and doing that was almost what I would call a late press, just caught Cincy off guard.
Yeah, it's a nice little chess match right now between the two teams. Kind of putting something out there to see if see what happens and see if they can get something to work at least early on. And Nathan Heath with a beautiful interception there.
And he finds Connor Probett. Connor, who's had a great season thus far, tries to get it forward. Did that take a deflection? No, it did not, and that will be so that was a cross forward. If it took a deflection, I thought it might have been a shot.
It was looked like it went slightly awry off of Connor Probert's foot on that one. That
might have been that.
Yeah, he's going to be kicking himself for that one because it was a beautiful build up there for him, and a nice cut back, and he just unfortunately whiffed on the shot a little bit. Not really whiffed, but kind of sliced it.
Well, when customers choose Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell for a new or pre-owned car, they receive much more than a stunning vehicle. They are entering into a relationship with Greater Cincinnati's premier luxury dealership. And that relationship means a superb experience during every visit. A Mercedes-Benz isn't an ordinary vehicle, and you shouldn't settle for an ordinary dealership. Visit Mercedes-Benz off Interstate I-71-75 at exit 188. And that was a quick little change of pace. Cincinnati unable to get to that one, and it will end up in Dayton hands. I know I talked a little bit earlier about Cincinnati being the one that was feeling rushed and kicking it forward. It seems like it's almost flipped on me.
Yeah.
that pass was clearly a reactionary kickball forward by Dayton.
Yeah, Cincinnati seems to have settled in at least the last couple minutes.
Forward to Willis.
Nice.
Flag stays down. Willis unable to get around, but that will go out for, I believe.
We were throwing Erlinson was the one.
And it didn't quite make it to the flag.
Erlinson again with a great defensive play on Alex Willis to keep any opportunity he had. He shut that down.
Yeah, Willis slowed to look for help and somewhere to send that ball into. Defender was able to catch up to it. A good little bit of footwork there for a moment from Heath, and that will sail out for a goal kick. And Dayton is safe from danger. Both teams really poking and prodding in the final third. Dayton first a little bit, now Cincinnati. It's making things interesting. This feels like one of those matches where the moment the defensive back line gets caught off guard or has a bad turnover, things could spin the other way, but we have a foul on Cincinnati, and Dayton will get a free kick from the midfield.
Michael Hamilton guilty of the foul there as he ran over the back of the Dayton player there and concedes another free kick from a little solid distance here, but obviously we'll see a ball drifting into the box and see what Dayton can do.
And referee gives the okay. We'll go for inside the box. That does bounce up, but Wesley Storm didn't even look worried.
Yeah. He knew that ball was going wide right from the get-go.
Quick little bounce out. Cincinnati will get the throw in. Double team turnover. Trying to thread the needle, but Wesley Storm able to get up and get inside in time.
See, this is where I think Cincinnati's got a really good chance to succeed here. If they're able to, quickly counter and build something up, it's got to be on the wings, though, on this. Because, like I said, so far we've seen, Cincinnati struggle to break down the Dayton defense right through the middle. But if they can quickly get something going on the outside, you might be able to see a run from Alex Willis like this right here.
Defend to Willis.
At least put some pressure on the Dayton defense back, or at least the Dayton back line. Get them, hopefully to, be off on their communication and their shape. And Cincinnati's knocking on the door right now. You kind of feel like something could happen here, either way. But
strange, no one made a run into the box on that play, all the way down there next to the line, but no one came in. Yachty doing a good job on that last play. That ball will be turned over. Tries to take it back. And Dayton sends it safely out to the wing. We haven't seen Dayton have too much success working the ball inside, outside of counters. So this might give us a little bit of taste of what Dayton has up their sleeves as far as building through the midfield and down into the final third. The question is, do they have those Alex Willis type players that will make the runs inside and time it perfectly? That ball is turned over twice. And Dayton sends it back to the keeper for safety. Willis chasing after it.
yeah, it's a tough ball right there. You turn it over in a spot where obviously you don't want to give the ball away, and that's a tough one, especially because that was a ball that just was just cleared up from the keeper. Nothing really in it, but then you just give the ball away when you had a free shot there to move it up the field. I got a little chippiness here.
Quick start for Cincy. Starting to get everybody moving now.
And one thing I've noticed in this match is Cincinnati's done a really good job of getting it on the. Let's wait here. See what Leotta can do. Over to Probert.
Sends it forward to Heath. Looking for that cross in, but will get another corner kick.
Yeah, quickly, Boston, before they take the corner. One thing I've noticed is Cincinnati's doing a really good job on the far side of getting the ball out to Kobe Sapanamoa, and letting him, attempt to push it up the field, from the back. So that's something to keep an eye on as well, because that could be the key, in getting the ball. And getting the ball up the field. So that's something to watch. Continue to watch. Like I said, if Cincinnati chooses to really move it down on the outside and push it in.
On that corner kick. Looked like Cincinnati was going to have two guys in position, but last minute sailing in saved the day by Dayton. Ball will go out for the goal kick. Cincinnati with a little bit of height advantage in this match. Makes those corner kicks a little troubling for Dayton, but they've handled everything all right so far. They will say that ball stayed in.
So that's an opportunity right there you don't want to let go. Alex Willis, I mean, he had a little bit of he had some daylight to where, A little softer pass. I think a little softer through ball could have been, you know, right in the wheelhouse for him. But unfortunately, it was a little too hard.
We appreciate it. If you are tuning in via our Twitter or Facebook page or the Cincinnati Dutch Lions YouTube page, all three great places to watch this game if you are unfortunately unable to be here. See, we have some Dayton fans on the thread, some Cincinnati fans as well. A little bit of rivalry attracts a little more attention than I think your average USL League 2 game. Two teams right down the road from each other. Cities that share a lot, and a lot of common. A lot of Dayton and Cincinnati people do the same things. You can go to Kings Island, eat Skyline. These are very familiar cities, but different in their own ways. And that will be a foul on Dayton. Cincinnati will get the ball right at that midfield mark. Quick restart. Sending it forward.
Good ball. Yeah,
Oh, and that was a great idea, trying to shoot it across the net, but
Hamilton hooked it just a little bit.
yeah, a little too much.
Now Cincinnati right now is the one they're showing a little bit more flashes of, of some dangerous play here. If you're coming at it from the Dayton side.
That shot by Michael Hamilton. You can see why Paul Nicholson's been playing him more and more.
Exactly. He definitely provides a lot of. Nice defensive play there, but Cincinnati right now is really showing the flashes of brilliance. They've settled in from the first probably 5 or so minutes to where Dayton was really starting off, and now Dayton's on the back foot. So obviously this match you're going to see tides going back and forth here.
Yeah, it's soccer sometimes a game of momentum.
Alex,
Forward to Willis. The flag is up. Thought he might have been offsides from here, and it looks like he is. Good idea. I think that's a little bit of difference in these two teams. Dayton is looking for that counter, looking for that turnover, and trying to fly forward on those balls. Cincinnati always has their eyes downfield, looking for one of their tall strikers. So two different styles, just a matter of whose is going to work first.
Yeah, Dayton will absorb that pressure and punch in the mouth on the counter, but Cincinnati's doing a great job of obviously eliminating that where Dayton did have a couple of those opportunities early on. Like I said, that seems to have changed a little bit. So we'll see how the adjustments continue on each side.
Throw in here for Cincy. Go right back out, and we'll do it again. Both teams playing, like I said at the beginning of the match, for the prized Subway Cup, currently held by Dayton. If Dayton is able to pull it off here tonight, then that would go to round 3. Match 3, I believe, played up in Dayton. If Cincinnati can pull it off here tonight, then the cup is won in 2 out of 3 matches. Things get real interesting with the draw. I guess we go to the 3rd match. Start counting goals. Looks like that's a foul.
And Nathan Heath came in a little hard there on Christopher Strickler. Strickler, he felt the brunt of all of that.
Strickler's been down twice already this match. Definitely getting into the mix of things, and Cincinnati's pressing him hard. And the officials trying to figure out who to give a card to, I think. They're unsure who's in the scrum there. And there is the yellow card. It has been mystery solved.
It took a little bit, but we finally got there.
That card will go to Reese Hands.
Number 3, Nathan Heath.
And Dayton with the ball in the final third. Kicks it into the box. Takes a couple deflections off will stay in there. Has some height, but Wesley Storm's able to easily grab it. It was soft coming off the header. Cincinnati has to be careful here. They will get away. Heath's running for the ball, but no, it will go out for a Dayton throw in. Getting caught up there in the midfield a little bit. In the past, Cincinnati's been pretty good at flipping the field when they get stuck in a zone like that. Interesting to see them not send that to the right. That ball sailing forward to Liotti. Liotti looking for a corner and will not get it. Just out-wrestled there on the end line.
Yeah, I was going to say that it's kind of built on your point there, Boston, about flipping the field. You know, having a keeper like Wesley Storm, who obviously a good size, who's got a really good leg. He's able to easily flip that quickly, and we've seen that so far. And with the strikers that Cincinnati that they possess, it can be really quick. Just a simple goal kick could turn into a goal just like that, just simply because of the ability to flip the field like Wesley Storm has.
We've seen Cincinnati start to hold the time of possession in their favor after a rough 5 minutes of weathering the storm. And that one will be sent lofting forward to Willis. Willis trying to get around the box out, unable to. And they really depend on Willis to have one of those moments where he breaks through. And so they'll give him, 10 or 11 balls like that on the inside. And that cross is beautiful, but a little bit late. Everyone has sailed past it already.
You kind of sense a little bit of frustration coming from Alex Willis right now. He's a little demonstrative on, a couple of these missed opportunities. You just saw, on the earlier shot, I believe it was by Hamilton, he had his hands up. Or no, it was on the shot by Connor Probert earlier. He was throwing his hands up. And then you could just see a little bit of frustration. So I wonder if that physical play so far is starting to wear on him.
Looking for Willis there. And it's not just USL. Two teams have to worry about Willis. Pat Brennan of the Inquirer putting in an article this week talking about how Nashville and Major League Soccer and Columbus Crew both have invited him to their training camps and practices and would like to get a look at the sophomore, as he did very well last season, scoring 16 goals as just a freshman coming in from England, where he was part of that Cartliff Academy system. Was offered a contract after his playing time in England, but declined to come here.
It's a good decision. A good decision here, coming to the States. Now you get to play in beautiful Northern Kentucky University.
That's right. Brand new field. This is one of the best soccer facilities in the area.
In fact, Venezuela, the national team, after they played the U.S. men's national team, held a brief training session here before they flew down to
That's
the
pretty
Copa
neat,
America.
huh?
I know, it's pretty cool.
The national team say, this is where we want to play.
Yeah, before they head down to the Copa America, in Brazil, to come here and nice little training session, seeing guys like, Joseph Martinez on the field. It's pretty cool. So obviously a fantastic facility.
And Dayton will have a chance here in the final third. Seems like that ball's been caught up in the midfield the last couple minutes, so we'll get a little bit of action. Looks like Jackson Dietrich is lining up to take the kick. We'll see if it's him or a decoy, and it will be Dietrich sending it in to the top of the box, looking for the header. Ball stays up and is kicked out to the top. Not a super great clearance, but it is away from danger for the moment. Around Heath, and that will sail out for a corner kick. And Dayton just starting to pile on a couple chances.
Connor Rutt stepping in there and sending that over the end line. Good solid defense by Cincinnati. Like you said, it has kind of slowed down. The first 34 minutes have been a little back and forth, but some action-packed moments. But
sails into the box. That was a great kick in, but able to be deflected out. That's right where you want to put a corner kick.
Exactly.
Down away. It's low, stayed low, so Wesley Storm couldn't come out and grab it. Beautiful kick, just unfortunate for Dayton to land on a Cincinnati player. And there they go, looking for Willis again, just too far forward. Well, we've said his name a lot tonight, and that's because he is the target man. Although I would argue that Cincinnati's best chance of the night came from Michael Hamilton so far. And Dayton unable to keep possession. Cincinnati with a throw-in.
Yeah, it's been Dayton now who has settled in. Again, that wave, again, going back and forth. And now it's Cincinnati seems to be, they're struggling to get anything going. So we'll see how, a throw-in like this, if they're able to get, some possession and really hold on to it, and go for it and see what they can get. I mean, you got about, a little over 10 minutes left, in the half. Try and get something, get something rolling, and hopefully you can, get one before the end of the half, and there you go, head on into the locker room with, hopefully some good momentum.
Dayton will keep possession. I can't believe we're talking about halftime already, Chris, but it is the 36th minute. About 10 remaining. Probably very little extra time, just the confusion over the yellow card really has been the only stoppage in play. Dayton with the end around here. Definitely 2-on-3, 3-on-3, but Cincinnati able to get back now. Good recovery up to Willis. Willis looking to thread it through. A little bit of a late kick, might have been offsides anyway, looking for Hamilton. Would like to see that Willis-Hamilton pairing just be a little bit smoother, I think. If both of them can become threats, then you give a little bit less for Dayton, or more for Dayton to worry about, and free up other options. Cincinnati, quick restart. Tries to take the long shot. Connor Rutt's unable to get it in the net. Sails over the fence, actually.
About sent that the Nunn drive on that one. That was a good shot.
There's a ball for the Swamplands after all the rain. Good news. Somebody brought a second ball. We can continue the match.
Have to get some of those training balls from the from underneath the stadium.
That will not be saved. Dayton will get the ball. Cincinnati starting to move that press forward again. Right about that midfield line. And they're going to force Dayton to earn every inch, it looks like.
Yeah, Cincinnati doing a really good job. They had a nice tight back line there. Again, they're going to force, like you said, they're going to force Dayton to, they're going to make them work for her.
Yeah, Cincinnati rolling out almost two defensive lines, and then they break that up in the middle to send two players to press at times.
Yeah, Cincinnati defensively is, I think they've played, pretty solid, because they're keeping. Again, they're making Dayton work for everything. There's no, aside from those first, 5 or so minutes when there was a couple of chances, for Dayton, Cincinnati's done a really good job of staying disciplined in their, in their formation. And again, Dayton's now finding, a little harder.
Our trainers here tonight are provided by St. Elizabeth, and they do a great job here keeping the players, making sure everybody's healthy and happy. St. Elizabeth Healthcare takes pride in being right here in Northern Kentucky for over 155 years. That same pride drives St. Elizabeth to provide care that is Innovative, collaborative, and personalized just for you. St. Elizabeth is proud to provide that same level of care to the Cincinnati Dutch Lions as their exclusive medical provider. Learn more at stelizabeth.com/Dutch Lions. And here's the question: will Cincinnati be able to get that ball forward before half? And here's Dayton with an opportunity. They have equal numbers. A very dangerous Tate Robinson looking for that shot, but it's broken up before he can find an opening. I'll tell you what, I've liked what I've seen from Tate. He had several chances right at the beginning of the game, and now we've seen another one in the 40th minute. He has his eyes right at that goal.
Yeah, when he gets going, he's focused on, like you said, on that goal, except for he just had a little, one extra touch there, and it ended up, he had that little opportunity to take a shot, and then next thing you know, there's, 4 orange shirts there, and, so just that one little extra touch there, caused him a little bit of problems, but overall, he's been very impressive on the night for Dayton.
Have to agree. And Cincinnati will start, build out the back line, up to Willis. Willis looking to spin that around and grab it, has to come back and to get it. And unfortunately, when he's in the midfield, it does provide fewer options, but he will be fouled, and he's going to take a really quick start. And that ball will just make it inside. Oh, Willis almost got in the way of the pass. I think he was looking for Hamilton. Probert here. Right at the line, sends it to the top. Just unable. Oh. And Leotti takes a little bit too long at the top of the box, and his shot's easily deflected after that time goes by. And Cincinnati will try it again.
Yeah, that one extra touch there got him. About got my headset too on that, but
Leotti takes a shot.
Oh, there we go.
And that's in for a goal. I thought that was sailing right for sure, but no. Timed perfectly. And that will be a 1-0 lead for the Cincinnati Dutch Lions in the 42nd minute.
Now that right there is a great way to rebound from, just that little extra touch there you take, and then but you come back and, you make up for it with a gorgeous shot just past the keeper's reach and into the back of the net. A big goal for Cincinnati.
Absolutely, and you love the build-up there by the Dutch Lions, the Cincinnati Dutch Lions. Leotti is the perfect kind of player for a match like this. Dayton is so worried about what Willis is doing. They're so worried about Michael Hamilton because he had that shot early in the match. So it's a great strategy to get someone like Leotti that far forward and take a shot of his own because he's less likely to be defended.
And in big matchups like this, it's your so-called secondary guys who they're the ones who have to step up. I mean, you always expect your top players to step up, but it's guys like Leotti, like you said, who, they're expected to step up, and they came through beautifully on that, and that's a big goal, in the 42nd minute, right before the half. So, now that you see, Dayton's got a chance around this corner, but if Cincinnati can get out of this without any damage done, you're headed into the second half.
Cincinnati players not happy that this is a corner kick. We saw a lot of arguing down on the field. They disagreed heavily with the referee's decision, but it is what it is. And now an opportunity, like you said, for Dayton to try their hand at a set piece, and that will be headed away and out.
So it looked like it came off a hand a little bit there, but
yeah, I think that was called a foul before it ever made it to the end line. Good crowd here tonight for a Friday night. It's one of the bigger ones we've seen at Northern Kentucky University. I think people getting excited for this rivalry game. Probably the second biggest crowd after the home opener. Willis with an opportunity, and he's looking in at center field, just unable to get past the double team. Ooh, and he gives a little shove, and the referee is going to put him in the book, it looks like. And then Willis will indeed draw a yellow card for the frustration foul. Was not happy about his double team and a little after the play nudge.
That booking goes to number 9, Alex Willis.
And he's going to have to be careful now going into the second half as we near the 45th minute.
Yeah, boss, like I was saying earlier with the frustration, it obviously boiled over right there. He could see he just, you know, wasn't happy with anything that's going on. You know, the
Dayton's
physical play.
space.
He lashed out there in a not a smart way.
That happens in these rivalry matches, but that's one thing Paul Nicholson and Dayton's coach both have just got to go into that halftime room and make sure the players that have yellow cards keep their cool, especially everybody else stays safe. Cincinnati's got a 1-0 lead. No need to take a red card in this match at this point.
Yeah, that's a selfish foul to take. You can't, you know, not a smart move, especially in a rivalry match, and you know things are going to be a little chippy anyway.
And the officials will add 1 minute on for extra time. Probably just for the time it took to give those 2 cards, because this has been a quick game, a quick half. Everybody on their feet. And Dayton looking for the final chance of the half. And they will hold up Cincinnati as the turnover takes place. And I don't believe Cincy's in any hurry to take this kick. They would like to just go into halftime with that 1-0 lead and see what Paul Nicholson has up his sleeves for a second half.
Yeah, you don't want to press and cause any any chance to turn the ball over or anything like that. Just kind of play it safe and a handball there. All right.
Willis said, "Where is it?" He gets it. A handball will be called right at the top of the box. This will be probably, most definitely, the last chance
kick of the half. Yeah.
And Cincinnati will get to take this free kick, and then I would expect it to be whatever the result of that is the end of the half, as we are well past a minute at this point.
So you got Liotti and Hamilton standing over it. We're going to see. Looks like it might be Liotti who's going to. No, he might back off here. We'll see what's going to go on.
I think Hamilton waved him off. Seniority rules
there.
No, Liotti will get the little kick push, and that's it. That is the whistle. And a great half by Cincinnati and Dayton, really, for both teams had their opportunities. Both teams had shots on goal. Cincinnati just able to pull it away with a absolute great strike by Liotti, putting it into the right side of the net. And Cincinnati will head to the half 1-0. Chris, what are your thoughts on the first half?
Well, like we expected, a kind of a sloppy match in some parts, but really nice in others. But again, a rivalry match like this, you're not going to get a pretty match to start off. And I think it once both teams settled down, we saw really good soccer played by both teams. And now now Cincinnati has the lead here, and it's going to be interesting to see what Paul Nicholson does here coming out in the second half, and and moving forward, and the adjustments that Dayton makes as well. Because again, a rivalry match like this, and obviously you got a little rivalry trophy on the line here with Cincinnati, have a chance to take the Subway Cup, and it's going to be interesting to see what adjustments are made and how both teams come out in the second half. But overall, I'm going to have to say it was pretty entertaining.
Certainly was a great first half of soccer. Cincinnati in the lead. When we come back, we will talk a little bit about Cincinnati's strategy, whether they decide to maintain that possession-based or just go lock down the defense. So we will be back here in about 13 minutes. Look forward to having you back for the second half. And we welcome you back to Northern Kentucky University, where the Cincinnati Dutch Lions lead the Dayton Dutch Lions 1-0. We are USL League 2. Great half by Cincinnati and Dayton, for that matter. Just both teams trying their own style, and Cincinnati able to strike first. But we want to invite you to stay up to date with what is happening throughout the league and USL League 2 top prospects at the new USLLeague2.com. You could download the USL League 2 mobile app today to keep track of your favorite teams. You can become a fan of the USL and USL League 2 on Facebook. Visit facebook.com/USL League 2 for exclusive league news and interactive content. Follow at USL League 2 on Twitter to become a League 2 insider. Join club conversations and track notable alumni throughout their pro careers. And Cincinnati, one of those teams that sends quite a few players up to the pro leagues, and either internationally or here in the States. Most notably Kyle Smith, or recently I guess, Kyle Smith playing for Orlando City just a few years ago was here playing at this very stadium. Transitioned up to Louisville City FC and then now on to Orlando City. So quite the fast rise for him. And a lot of these other players on this field right now for Dayton and Cincinnati looking for those same shots.
New in the game for Dayton, number 7, Kingford Adjai, and number 12, Abdul Karim Sibo.
And Cincinnati in the orange. They started the first half with the ball. Dayton in the white. They will begin this second half. And Chris, if you are Cincinnati, you're Coach Paul Nicholson, what is your strategy here in the second half?
Honestly, I don't think you really change much. Dayton's going to come after you, but you stay disciplined and you just continue to play your game. That's really, you really don't have to do much. You have the lead, so now we got the second half underway here. Like I said, there's really not much you really have to do. Just continue to play your game, stay disciplined, and move forward from there. And
foul there by Dayton. Cincinnati will get the ball. And Chris, I don't know. You don't? Some would say that you're better off dropping your full 11 in the defensive half and just weathering the storm for the second half and making life difficult, clogging lanes. You don't buy into that theory?
No, I don't at all. I think you play, famously, like Herm Edwards said, you play to win the game. And I think, if you play to not lose, you're going to lose it. And I'm not saying if you drop everyone back, you park the bus, so to speak, you're going to lose it. But I don't see why, right now, if it's not broke, don't fix it, is how I kind of look at it in this case. And Cincinnati played a pretty solid first half. Outside, like I said, the first couple minutes of the match, or they weren't under too much pressure. So I think you just continue to play your style of game, and let everything play out that way.
And Chris has spoken. We'll see
Yes.
we'll see which theory prevails here tonight.
See if I'm a genius or not.
There you go. Cincinnati able to clear that last set by Dayton, get it out, but the ball will go out for a set piece. And this one will be off of Dayton. The official indicating that Cincinnati's ball. Dayton's coach a little bit unhappy with it, and we'll have the throw in anyway. And look at this press by Dayton right off the bat. They're going to go all the way to Storm, trying to create chances, and it works. The ball's turned over right there in the final third, up and over. Just not on the same page quite there.
See, this is kind of has the same feel as it did to start off the match. Dayton went after him to start off, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. You got two new bodies on here for Dayton. Some fresh legs. There we go. Nice little moves. There we go. Hamilton
They're
here
gonna
now.
play advantage. Sapong was drugged down. Hamilton into the box. Crossed back. Willis trying to find an opening. Will get a shot off, but it sails a little bit to the right. Willis, good job of making an opportunity there, but unfortunately everything was closed down by the time he got there. And a yellow card will come in. Was that on Dayton?
It was. I can't tell exactly who it was on.
So it looks like it was a yellow card on Dayton's number 16. Must be a halftime substitution. Or at least a changed jersey or something happened out there.
I was going to say, because...
a little bit confusion up here. We'll figure that out for you, though. And that'll be a takeaway. Cincinnati able to get it right back. Into Willis. Willis is called offsides, takes a shot, and the goal will not count, as the offside flag was up.
That was a close one. He looked, he did appear to be just a little off, but...
That's the danger he brings. The moment you forget about him. Unfortunately, he's off there. But every once in a while, he's on.
That's all it takes, for, a goal scorer like Alex Willis. Just a little sliver right there to give yourself that opportunity. And next thing you know, that ball's in the back of the net. I mean, that's all it takes.
Yep. Willis is going to be offside here, but he will get fouled as well. And they are going to call that a foul against Willis. Both players are down. And we might see our first visit from the St. Elizabeth staff here. No, it looks like he's getting up. We're all good.
Willis already more active in this, in this 5 minutes, the second half than he has been really
Hamilton
in the first, first half of the match, so far. Very dangerous. He's last two plays on, that he's been involved in were offsides, but again, showing that, that dangerous play that he does possess.
Absolutely, but the combo of Hamilton and Liotti has been potent. We just saw it right there. The two of them working together, and that's where you cause a little bit of fits for Dayton. Do you worry about Willis? Do you worry about Hamilton and Liotti? I mean, it's just
it's a pick your poison situation, really. I mean, look at this beautiful play here by Hamilton, and fortunately, just a little heavy touch there, but
and that will go out for a goal kick. Hamilton was looking for the corner.
as the ball boy was running and down the field there.
Dayton really looking for a moment here to settle in. Cincinnati's been very focused on disrupting this midfield these last few minutes. And they will do so again, but this time it's off the foot. Dayton with the throw in, trying to get it forward. Cincy getaways a little jersey pull there, but I think it's okay. Hamilton elects to send it back. Sapongamoa hasn't been the busiest night for him, but he's done a good job on that far side in the first half. Ball up looking for Willis. Easily deflected away for Dayton. And the official will say that that went off of Dayton last. The ball kind of bounced around between both players' feet.
You see, you can see right now, Cincinnati, they're, they're not, pressuring a lot, and obviously they've got the lead, so there's nothing, they really have to do. But they're, they're continuing to, get themselves in a good spot to, to put the pressure on the Dayton defense, which they're doing a great job of right now. Well, yeah, they look like he was wanting to, beautiful.
And they are.
Oh, there we go, right, just outside the box.
Yeah, they're going to give him the free kick right outside the box as Liotti gets tripped up. That was a beautiful flick. A lot of times you don't see that work unless both players are on the same page, and Liotti was able to make the quick pass and then a flick right back and gets the ball, makes that run in.
Yeah, beautiful give and go there, and like you said, you don't see it work too often, but when it does, you you see something as nice as that was. I mean, that was great job there by Liotti to continue that run.
And everybody's arguing here. The Cincinnati thought it was over the line. Dayton's mad it happened.
I mean, I was gonna say, the official Casey Anderson, she was right on the right on the line.
Right about one of those spots where you can't make either side happy, and so both teams are arguing two different things, and you just go with what you saw the first time around.
Exactly. You can't win for losing if you're the official in this situation here. I mean, now it's a dangerous spot here for for Dayton on the conceding this free kick now.
Yeah, they built quite the wall there.
Cincinnati's got a couple options now. Exactly, how they're going to handle it.
Hamilton open. Looks like he will get a man now guarding him.
I was going to say, if I'm Cincinnati, I would see if I can, you've got a 6-man wall right now.
Yeah, you got one-on-one with Willis, Hamilton.
Take advantage of the, the numbers. Oh, and
he
Liotti went for it
himself.
Up and over
well, why
the wall.
Not? If you're that close. Liotti thought he had the shot to. That one goes up and over, but that's the advantage of a 1-0 lead. You could take those risks and chances. Go for glory.
I can't fault him for that. That was a great shot. I mean, that's what you're, it's the kind of shot you're looking for on a free kick like that. But a great job of getting up and over that 6-man wall there, and
just couldn't get it back down.
Yeah, unfortunately, didn't have the Beckham dip on it.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room there for
a
dip. Trying to bend the laws of physics as is. Liotti earns the turnover. 2-on-3 with one chasing.
Hamilton making a great run in too. Oh!
Hamilton just puts it over the bar, but he was open, and I mean open.
You could see that as you could see Liotti making the run down there, and then nice dummy there by Willis to let it come all the way through, and you could see Hamilton was just run onto it. He was looking to hit an absolute missile, and unfortunately.
He wants that one back, as you're right. Willis took the first run. The ball ended up going behind him, and everyone was so worried about it.
But that's one thing also you really have to look at now. That's a big moment in the match right there, because that's not a wide open net, but that's a great chance for you. And hopefully it doesn't come back to haunt Cincinnati, later on in the match. But that's a moment to keep your eye on in the 57th minute.
Dayton with the ball, right around the box, trying to find that opening. They will get the cross off and the header, but it goes up and over.
Because let's be honest, if that ball goes in the back of the net, you're kind of, breaking the back of your opponent right there. I mean, that'd be a killer goal to give up.
Do you believe in the 2-0 most dangerous lead in soccer? Maybe they should just stay at 1-0.
I played hockey, growing up, so it is. Yeah, it's 2-0 it is a little dangerous. I mean, but I'd rather have 2 goals than 1. So.
There you go. Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I don't care what the superstition is. That will go out to Hamilton. Advantage will be played. No foul. Into the box. Hamilton tries to get the rebound, but it will be cleared by Dayton. And a little bit of a double counter there. Cincinnati gets the ball back. Looking for Willis. Gets his back foot up, but and that's not called a foul. I thought it might be an up and over. Flag is
flag
down.
stays down there.
Cincinnati quit on that. And lucky save.
Fantastic
Sliding.
defensive play.
Yeah, I was worried there for a second. Cincinnati stopped. They were so sure it was offsides. The defensive line slowed down there, and that's not what you want to do in those situations. Pretend like it's live every time.
I think it was Jordy Ramon on that play there on the beautiful sliding interception. That was, crucial defensive play to come back and, when your team stops a little bit for what you would think would be a sure offside, call.
The official did not even make a decision. He had it locked on the whole way, so that's one where you just go with the flow and keep up with the ball. And that headed safely away. So Dayton takes the shot from the top. They'll maintain possession. Up and inside. And a double headed away there. A little bit of pressure here. Dayton continues the ball. That's going to be called a foul. Or, I apologize, it will be a throw-in. I thought they might have gotten the shove there. And Cincinnati takes a second to clear it, but unable to get it to their team in the back.
Yeah, Cincinnati doing a solid job defensively. Again, they're continuing to make things really difficult for Dayton moving forward. And another beautiful ball to switch the side there.
Yeah, strange choice to send it to Willis when.
Yeah, Liotti was making a nice run there. Yeah,
may have been the wrong choice there. Dayton able to clear this downfield. They've got Tate running. Tate Robinson with a little bit of pressure, trying to make something happen.
Cincinnati now finding some success up the middle where they weren't in the first part of the match.
There's Probert gets tripped up.
Yeah, physical plays picked up now, and with just a little less than half an hour left, you're going to look to see Dayton really put some more pressure on as this as the time starts to dwindle down. But Cincinnati still. Oh.
And a foul will be called there on Saponamoa. The official thought he was involved in the pushdown.
To me, it looked like Kingsford Adjay, started to slip, right before, Moa came over top of him there. But official saw otherwise, and
Dayton trying to work that right side of the field will break through, and that sails just through the box. No one able to get a foot on it. Wesley Storm lets it go by.
Natural just sounds healthier. 30 is the
And
official
back into the box, this time
identification
headed out.
Cincinnati Dutch Lions. You can order online at 30drink.com or find it at a store near you. Follow them on Twitter at 30drink.
A little bit of
on
clever
Instagram
footwork.
at 30drink.
Into the box. Gently rolls to Storm, and the danger is past. But Dayton able to, these last couple possessions, when they do get to the final third, and they do have a little bit of trouble getting to that final third and breaking through the midfield, but when they do, doing a great job of just taking multiple opportunities and collecting that ball and trying again, and that could be dangerous as we get into those final 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's definitely something you want to keep your eye on. It's, and that's where, the discipline, needs to come in for Cincinnati, to where they can't, they can't afford to lose, lose their shape, or, lose their style. Because, right now, like I said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But right now they've done a really good job of limiting those opportunities for Dayton. And again, they've found some success, like I said, through the middle. So that's another thing to watch out, as Dayton is going to obviously continue to press on to see if Cincinnati is able to, to find some success on the counter. And just little moments like that right there where, Liotti had a chance to, to break in. We saw Hamilton, obviously, with a little bit of the break-in. These opportunities are going to come up now as Dayton continues to press forward. So it's going to be key. It's going to be key for Cincinnati to take advantage of those opportunities as this match moves on.
Yeah, I agree, and make sure your passing is clear. You can see Dayton already with 4 players right there, just for the 2 or 3 Cincinnati defenders looking for that turnover. They get it, but it's a little bit further back than I think they wanted to. Cincinnati quickly steals it back. But it looks like holding up the play, really, when he had numbers for a moment, but he's trying to slow this game down. I think we see a little bit of a time wasting strategy here going on more than looking for the net.
Yeah, I mean,
Liotti trying to get the foul. The official didn't even give it a second of thought. Storm able to get there in time, but man, you have to be a little bit disappointed with the play from Cincinnati the last couple of minutes. Just almost taking it too easy.
They've kind of taken their foot off the pedal, is what is kind of how it's appearing right now. And again, against a team like Dayton, who in a rivalry match like this, you cannot afford to take your foot off the pedal. You have to. And I mean, it's like that in any match, but you can't afford to do that. You have to continue to press forward and, and put the pressure on your opponent and make them beat you. And, if you just continue to turn the ball over and everything, and let things happen like that, you're making it difficult for yourself. Even though you do have the 1-0 lead right now, but Cincinnati just has to take a deep breath again. They had the momentum to start off the first, probably 15 minutes of the second half here. A couple brilliant opportunities. Now, just continue to get back to that.
That
A
ball
little tough tackle there.
Cincinnati's. Yeah, I saw Wesley Storm giving a chat to his one of his defenders in the back after that last play. Just kind of, hey, speed things back up back here. And Cincinnati looks to be going for the pass around in the back, but there was one dangerous pass I saw in that last sequence. Just a little too close for a team that's in the lead. Cincinnati will get a set piece, a free kick here from almost the sideline. And Connor Prevett lines up to take it. He's got the boot. He has the ability to send this all the way in, so we'll see if he likes to do that. Or it doesn't look like there's anyone to go short to, unless you want to go up top.
Now you get a nice little in-swinger here, and again, if you could get it just outside the penalty spot there, to where it's difficult for, let's say, the officials here, going to chat it over here, and I'll find out exactly what they're talking about. But yeah, if you can get it just around like the penalty spot, to where just outside of the keeper's reach, you could, if you're able to use your height and size advantage, hopefully get a really good opportunity on that. Now, there's some chit-chatting going on here between the officials.
Yeah, unsure what the issue is. It looks like they might be either discussing the original foul or something after the fact, but we have a small break in play here. You can see it on your screen.
I got a feeling somebody's going to be in trouble here.
The official is
Casey
slowly
Anderson's
moving
walking her way out. She's looking.
top of the box. and
She's waiting.
And they're just going to let it go. Whatever it was, it's been peacefully waved off for the moment.
Going to sweep that under the rug there.
The fans clamoring for just a resume and play. And that ball
There
is
it
in
is.
the back of the net. It's
Connor
a
Probert.
Cincinnati goal. Connor Probert using the height to his advantage. Able to
Goal for
shoot that
Cincinnati.
header all the way across the goal line. He was, on the left side. Scores in the right.
Scored by number
Netting.
16,
Not an easy one.
Reese Hands.
I apologize. Was that hands? I think we originally gave that to Connor.
Yeah, I thought it was Connor Probert, but maybe not. Maybe
Okay, it was Reese Hands. We've got our clarification up here in the box.
I jumped the gun a little bit on the broadcast. I got
Congratulations,
excited there.
Reese Hands.
Beautiful goal.
Absolutely.
But again, that's exactly the spot I was mentioning there. If you can get it just in that spot, that little, no man's land there for the keeper, you get a really good opportunity and exactly what you're looking for there. It's that's a big goal right there to make it 2-0 now with just over 20 minutes left in this match.
Absolutely, and that's the a little bit of insurance that Cincinnati needs, especially because Dayton is putting a lot of pressure, like right now in that final third and that their offensive half. And it's the point where Dayton's going to start taking risks. They're going to start sending extra men forward, and with that comes obviously chances for them. The referee is not going to have any of that foul.
See, this is where you look at, guys like Willis and, Hamilton and, Liotti. Those guys, those three now are going to have their opportunities here.
Bitterball, Dutch fillet, or the signature cocktail on the rooftop patio overlooking the Cincinnati skyline.
Cincinnati, unfortunate, hits their own player.
11 p.m. and they do
That one did
recommend
not
reservations.
look like it felt good.
You can find them on Facebook or Twitter at Lise5215.
Steven Hands joining us on Twitter. We apologize for messing that goal up, but we got it right. It takes us a second sometimes.
Well, I just realized on that it was Connor Probert who was taking the free kick,
Yeah.
so it's kind of tough for him to score on the header as well. So
That's right.
again, I got a little excited there. I'll take.
Sometimes the TV camera's view, sometimes the box view, bettor's view. It just depends on the play. And that's going to be a foul on Cincinnati. Dayton will take the fast kick off the spot. A little bit of a Cincinnati line there to get through, and elects to go backwards. Send it up and over to the free open man on the left side. And impressive tackle to get that ball out from under.
Willis with an impressive work rate. Let's try that again. Work rate to get back on that, defensively there to,
Yeah, the only
great
thing you
turnover.
got to slightly worry about is Willis is on that yellow card, and you don't want to see him get involved too much, especially on those defensive plays. As long as he plays safe, he'll be fine. But you have to imagine he comes out usually around this time in most matches anyway. Paul Nicholson has to be thinking with a 2-0 lead, it could be time to take your star striker out, give him a little bit of a rest for the next one.
Yeah, because now you can afford yourself. Like I said, you have the insurance. You don't have to really, you don't have to push forward with, to get more goals like that now. So you can afford to take out Alex Willis and, put in another midfielder or, change your shape. Just however Paul Nicholson wants to handle it. But, you have that luxury to take him out, rest him, especially since he is on an early yellow.
Yeah, you have to feel he wants that goal, though. You just saw him fly forward in that last play. Almost knocked down the goalie. Able to stop in time, but really wants to add his own name to the score sheet, as two of his teammates have. This will be Cincinnati throw in. Up to Willis, looking to get it back out to the side, and Hamilton just unable to collect. A little behind him.
Got stuck in his feet there, and Liotti throwing a little shoulder there.
Yeah, and he's gonna. No, he's not going to pick up the foul. She let both ride, and yes, I guess it will be called a foul now. A little bit of a late call there. I think maybe she was going to try to play advantage first.
Yeah, I think she, I think she was a little hesitant to blow that whistle there, but then once obviously,
and Hamilton,
that advantage was,
trying to set the ball down, but people have a problem with the spot.
Yeah, Bill Kuster's not going to let him do it.
She's going to move everybody back. If you're Dayton, you need to score quickly, so wasting time here arguing on where the ball sits a few inches is not the smart play.
All right, boss, I want to take note here. Connor Probert's taking the free kick here.
And that almost sailed through. It got caught up in between Probert. I apologize. It got caught up in between Hands and Willis, but that ball almost got stuck, it seemed like.
It did. It was bouncing around there. It just wasn't doing much. You can tell Cincinnati's not satisfied with the 2-0 scoreline right now. I think they definitely want to.
Well, possession is the name of the Cincinnati game, honestly.
Exactly, yeah.
And so I think the best strategy here is to maintain that possession. If you have the ball, they don't. And as long as you don't waste that possession with a costly turnover leading to a Dayton goal, then it's a good play. If you do, then you're almost better off bunkering.
Yeah,
Cincinnati
that's
is not. They don't have a single player besides the keeper in their own half. And they get one back now as everyone has to retreat. And that will get forward to Hamilton. Hamilton with a flick back, trying to get up to Willis.
Nice turn.
Almost able to get the shot, and the shot does get off.
What a save. Beautiful save.
And I think we can finally say his name correctly. That was a shot by Connor Robert.
Yes, it was. That is correct.
We just really, apparently, wanted to say he had a shot on goal, and he gets one there.
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be Liotti coming off here in the 77th.
Great game for Liotti. Well-earned rest.
So they're taking off a forward and bringing on Charlie Majewski, who's going to come on, who's going to be, a midfielder. So you're going to add a little extra, defensive help here.
Yeah,
which is exactly what you're expecting.
Not a bad swap here at this stage in the game. 77th minute, probably a few extra minutes of added time. That header will go over, unable to keep it down.
For Cincinnati, number 17, Charlie Majewski.
Charlie enters the match. We saw him last time they were here at home. Unfortunate to drop to Chicago, but good game nonetheless. These are top teams battling in this division between Dayton, Chicago, and Flint City Bucks. You've just got an all-out war for that top position. Chicago just really stretching their lead last week with a win over Dayton.
Yeah, Chicago, they're on a roll right now, and you really have to be on your A game to to knock them off right now.
Yeah, I was talking to some Cincinnati fans, and really interesting. They almost wanted Dayton to win when they played Chicago last week because everybody's chasing Chicago, and it's just a matter of stealing points. Now, on the flip side for Cincinnati, they have 2 more matches against that team. So you got 6-point swings
Exactly.
coming up.
Those are the matches where, you have to. Oh, there you go. Beautiful run there.
That ball in.
And you won yourself a corner there. So now it's more time is going to come off the clock here.
So Pongamoya, the one making that fantastic run.
As Cincinnati prepares to take the corner, we'd like to announce tonight's attendance, 343. One of the best attendance we've had this year here at NKU Soccer Complex.
And a great attendance just announced by the PA.
Masiewski, he backed off there. He's going to let Connor Prober take the corner here.
Corner will sail in. Unfortunately, misses its target for Cincinnati. And the captain will send it up. And he has a streaking
beautiful
player.
turn.
Able to shake the defender, but the shot in is just way too light.
Yeah, Tate Robertson, I mean, you mentioned earlier, Boston, he had done a great job all night of, making his presence known. He hasn't had a lot of opportunities, but, he's looked good in those opportunities. And
yeah, on that occasion, he chose accuracy over power. This cross makes it through everybody, but it did not land on its target.
Company is a regional accounting firm serving businesses throughout the Midwest. The company has over 33 years experience in public accounting with strong international connections. That's Moneyhoff, Lang & Company.
looking at purchasing an SUV to haul your kids and teammates around the mall, soccer practice, or games? Look no further than Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell. Spacious GLA, GLE, G-Class, GLC, or GLS are all available. Stop into our showroom off of Interstate 7175 at exit 188 to visit with a Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell representative to get your next certified pre-owned or new Mercedes-Benz.
And the official has indicated there will be a foul right on the edge. Again, not letting Cincinnati get the penalty, electing to do it right on the border. And that foul did occur right on around that line mark, so seems fair enough. And the official will back the play up. Kick sails in. Unable to get past the defensive line. And Cincinnati will look to sail in. Not a great touch in by Connor, but he's able to save it. A little diagonal pass up top. And Dayton thought they had it clear, and now they do have it clear.
Oh, beautiful footwork there. Hamilton, wow.
And I'm shocked not to see a shot there by Cincinnati. Willis just chips it out, but weird not to see a shot as Cincinnati just walked down there almost. Dayton just kind of stopped, pause and play.
You can join the team at the House of Orange Sports Bar and Grill for the post-game party at 5th and Johnson in Covington.
And there was a lot of confusion on that last drive. I think everybody's good with the reset now.
And as you know, House of Orange is
Sean McKenna set to come in.
up in Cincinnati Dutch Lions.
And we do have a substitution here for Cincinnati Dutch Lions.
Checking into the game.
Sapongamoyo will come out.
Number 15, Sean McKenna.
And we have Sean McKenna making his return to the field.
Size over speed here on that one as Saponamoa who comes off.
Raise hands with a little bit of defensive work. And this will be a foul against Cincinnati. Dayton.
I'm surprised Dayton hasn't been a little more you know, anxious in getting up. I mean, you have, just a little less than 8 minutes left, before some injury time. But, you know,
Well, you only have two options, right? You can go for the low chance ball, kicking it up and over, or try to build something more closer to the net. And they elect to be doing the slower paced one, but you are right, down 2 goals. Eventually time is running out. That one will be a great chance. Shot on goal. Wesley Storm able to save it at the post. And I think that build-up play is what they're looking for, but as the clock ticks closer and closer to 90, you'll see a little bit more of those over-the-top balls and low percentage, but chances for something immediate.
I mean, those build-up plays like that, they're good, but you got to have a little bit more, a little bit faster pace with them. I mean, they're just, the slow, methodical, when you're down 2 goals with, in the 84th minute, not really what you're expecting to see. But I mean,
Either way, Cincinnati playing their possession game, and that's
Yeah.
the thing Dayton has to find a way to stop. It'll be interesting to see if they can press their way out of this, as Cincinnati is electing just to kind of kick it around. They'll move forward and take the opening at goal if they get it. And there is a turnover. That will be kicked out, though, and Cincinnati will maintain possession.
Yeah, Cincinnati certainly happy to possess this ball until, and just waste that clock and let it tick down.
And this is where I do find it a little bit interesting. A slow run, no immediate pressure. And there we go. We start to see Dayton flying towards that ball more. And that will be Dayton's ball. No, the officials indicated that there was too much of a grab. Would not let Cincinnati get to the ball in time. So we're going to have a free kick here. Cincinnati's going to take it as slow as they possibly can. It looks like 2 substitutions for Dayton, so that is the hold-up now. '15 and number 20. That ball is able to be controlled in the midfield. Cincy again, playing with the passes back and forth. I think you'll see a lot more of this the next few minutes unless it starts to break down. They're going to make Dayton run all the way up there and pressure them. And since Dayton's not doing it, they're just going to keep the ball back.
Yeah, there's no need to, no need to press forward.
And there we go. Dayton starting to press there. And now you'll see Cincinnati have a little bit more space because everybody moved forward. And there it is. And that will go out for a corner.
And there you go. Waste more time now.
Creating more and more of those corners all night. They like their set pieces. And they've converted on one. One of those 2 goals came from a Reese Hands header. And they'll take it short, or I guess to the top. Here's Hamilton. Hamilton with the cross inside, but the official has called a foul further back. And that play will be killed off before it has a chance to finish.
And now you're starting to get a little bit of urgency from Dayton here. My opinion, about 10 minutes too late.
Well, to be a little bit fair, Cincinnati's had the ball most of those last 10 minutes.
But again, I think if you...
And here you go, there's a turnover. That's exactly what you're looking for. There's the shot. Storm able to control it.
Yeah, but again, if you apply that pressure, you're gonna most of the time you're gonna force some more turnovers in in that case. But again, beautiful play here by Cincinnati. Again, staying disciplined.
There you go. Chance forward, but it's just too far out of reach. Hamilton was looking for the brace. And they're going to give this ball to Dayton. We are now in the 89th minute. And I would expect, due to a couple stoppages in play, 2 to 3-ish minutes, maybe more, of time. And that is going to be a little too slow, but the shot was wide open. Storm able to get to the ground and save the ball. And honestly, Dayton's had a couple really good shots, and unfortunately, I think their best ones just haven't had any power on the ball.
Yeah, that one, I mean, it was a nice curling ball, but it stayed low. It was on the ground, and, it wasn't hit with a lot of pace. And, Wesley Storm's going to gather those all day. Again, he's a keeper with size, which makes size and agility, which obviously is, huge for, pardon the pun there on that one, but, huge for any goalie. That size and agility, especially a guy like Wesley Storm here, does make it difficult on the opponent. So you got to, in most cases, you got to hit it with pace to get it past the keeper like that. But, fortunately for Cincinnati, Dayton just hasn't risen to the occasion in the circumstances, and Cincinnati now just keen on wasting that time.
And Cincinnati is 30 seconds away from that 90-minute mark. Dayton with the lofted ball forward. Here we go, and Storm's able to pick it up off the header bounce. Some more pressure by Dayton. It's exactly what they should be doing in this moment, but that's going to sail out for a Cincinnati throw-in. And we have hit the 90-minute mark. We are officially in extra time. We've got 4 minutes of stoppage.
Officials are indicating we will be adding 4 minutes on to regulation.
And that'll be a foul called.
Yeah,
Dayton's
so you're going to
ball.
see a card there on that one.
Yeah, a little late game.
That's a smart move. You prevent Dayton from getting the quick.
Goes to number 17,
Yeah, Charlie's going to pick up that.
Charlie Maciejewski.
I think she carded him for taking the ball away. Ball forward. And Cincinnati is just trying to get those forward as fast as possible. Unfortunately, just overhitting them. But it is honestly a low percentage with 1 on, usually 2 in that case. And Dayton just trying to find a way to level this thing. They've got to get 2 goals in about 3 minutes. It's been done before. Will it be done here tonight? And that one unable to connect. Cincinnati more than happy just to boot it away. No foul called there for the jump. And here we start to see those long balls booted forward.
I see now he said today,
Yeah,
kill
3
here,
on
and they're just
3.
going to.
Unfortunately, the bad first touch, but Cincinnati's onside. Keeps it in. Looking for the opening, and it will sail just right of the net.
Hamilton's one. He wants one.
He has one. He's looking for that second goal.
Checking into the game for Cincinnati. Number 19, Christian Kirchhoff.
Kirchhoff on now for Hamilton, who Hamilton put in a workmanlike effort tonight.
Indeed he has. Hamilton gets a roaring applause from the crowd. And Paul Nicholson has to be happy with the night he put in for this squad. But the official's going to call this back. Did not like the play being kicked off before. She indicated it was good to go. And you have to imagine if the substitution doesn't count in the time, then the game clock is still winding down here, and Dayton needs to make something happen right here now on this drive. They get it into the top of the box.
Could.
The shot gets off. It just, I think it almost caught a deflection. If it didn't, it was a light kick, but Storm able to gather it up, and we'll see how fast Dayton can pressure here to try to. And there's the boot.
Yeah, Cincinnati again. They're just.
And they're going to call a foul.
Yeah, some of these fouls will slow everything down now for, get a chance for, Dayton, because they won't be able to, really push it up real quick. And that gives a chance, obviously, for Cincinnati to kind of, regroup. But, overall, Cincinnati doing a great job of,
Back to
killing the clock.
Storm and up to Willis. Willis has put in a full shift here tonight. And they're going to send that all the way back to Storm. And just trade sides of the field. And they're trying to send that all the way forward for Burt, but he wasn't able to make that run inside. We have to be here in the dying seconds of the match. Cincinnati still with the possession, still with the ball. Dayton trying to find some kind of an answer.
And there it is.
And that is the match. They will not. Cincinnati 2, Dayton 0. And I believe, Chris, that is a Subway Cup for Cincinnati. 2 out of 3 matches, 3-1 goal differential. And the cup comes back home to Cincinnati.
Yes, sir. That's a big win for Cincinnati. And a nice, valuable 3 points there. Great job in front of a nicely attended match here tonight. Great job by Cincinnati in getting this victory over their heated rival.
Absolutely great game, great rivalry game. Cincinnati able to take these games this year and really make them excellent revenge for the fans. And it just builds forward towards the future as well as we go into match 3. Dayton can look forward to their revenge at their field. And absolutely great night here at Northern Kentucky University. We thank you for tuning in and joining us here tonight.
And as always, Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell is proud to support the vision of the Cincinnati Dutch Lions as the 2019 official automotive sponsor. Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell, encouraging youth to pursue their dreams.
Well, thank you for tuning in here. Again, Cincinnati 2, Dayton 0. It's been a lovely match from Northern Kentucky University. My name is Boston Brazel, and from Chris Asbrock, we appreciate you tuning in, whether it was Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. We will be back in a few weeks. Look forward to seeing you then.